I'm Olivia. Thanks for checking out my video. Today I'm going to be doing a full face of some older makeup. It's been a hot minute since I filmed a video or really done anything for social media. Life's been a little crazy lately, but I am just getting ready to see some friends, go to a birthday party, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to film a little get ready with me. So I don't have a ton of time. I'm in a little bit of a rush, so I already got started with some of the base products. The first thing I used was the Supergoop Play SPF lotion, and I put that on a while ago just to let it sink in. I'm also using the corrector from Becca, as well as this blurring primer from Cover FX. Clearly, we're almost done with this. She's on her last legs, aren't we all? And then I'm also wearing the Too Faced Hangover Pillow Balm, just for a little moisture as I'm getting ready. There is construction going on outside, so if you can hear that, I'm sorry. I'm filming on an iPhone, so there's not really much I can do in terms of quality control. But let's just get into it. So for today's look, I kind of wanted to do something that would match my sweater. So obviously we're going for like a yellow-orange vibe today. I also wanted to focus on a couple products from my Shop My Stash. If you did see that video, you know that I picked out way too many palettes, so I obviously wanted to reach for one of those. And I decided to go with the Daisy Does It palette from Colourpop. So here's the color story. It's clearly pretty neutral with just a couple pops of like the yellow and sort of like the peachy orange here. So I probably am going to stick with these shades and maybe I'll deepen it up with something else too. But these are definitely kind of the vibes I'm going for today. And since I am reaching for this palette, I decided to pull for a couple other things that came with this collection. So I decided to reach for this Super Shock blush. It's in the shade Doozy. And it's kind of like a peachy, corally orange type of shade. So I thought that would be really pretty. Then I also reached for a Super Shock shadow from the collection, and this one's in the shade Beloved. And it kind of just looks like a yellowy green, like it's very like almost muted and pastel looking. So if this like fits with the look I end up doing, I'll use it, but if not, then I won't. But that is kind of the plan for today. I wanted to reach for these and I wanted to focus on those warm tones from the palette as well. So let's just get started. I turned the brightness up a little bit, so hopefully that's a little better. Hopefully I'm not washed out or anything. But like I said, I don't have a lot of time today, so I'll probably just kind of breeze through most of the base stuff. So I'll probably be a little bit less chatty and I'll probably just kind of speed through this part of the video. Hopefully you don't mind. But I'm going to start with the NYX Born to Glow, and then for concealer, I think I'll go in with this Maybelline Fit Me concealer. All right, so now that my base has kind of been started, before I powder, I'm gonna go in with some cream products. So I am gonna use this Soul Body bronzer in the shade Fair. This is very warm toned, so I don't know if I really love it, but since I am going for a bit of a warmer theme today with the sweater and the eyeshadow, I figured now's a good time to try this again. And then I'm gonna go in with this liquid highlighter from Tarte, and it's in the shade, it's kind of rubbing off, but I think it's in the shade Exposed. So I'll do the bronzer first and then the highlight. I've done too much. I don't think I love how this is looking on my skin. I mean, I think I did just add too much because I've used this several times lately and I feel like it hasn't looked quite as textured as this. So it's probably just because I added so much. But yeah, I don't love that, but that's okay. I'm just gonna powder under my eyes a little bit to set the concealer with this e.l.f. loose powder. And then I'm gonna go in with the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. Alrighty, so now I'm just gonna go in with Doozy from Colourpop, and I think I'll do some like blush draping with this. So I'm gonna put it higher up on my cheekbone and probably almost beside the eye or going into the eyeshadow because I feel like that'll look really pretty. So let's go in. And I'll just do a little bit on my nose. All right, I like that. I feel like it looks really cute. I'm gonna do my brows off camera because I feel like that's boring and kind of a process for me. So I'll be back in just a second and we'll do the eye look together. All right, so my brows are finished. Before I get into the eye look though, I did want to add some highlight. So I'm gonna go in with this Luminous Glow and Highlight palette from Blush Tribe. And I'm kind of torn between using one or both of these shades, but I feel like this is a pretty intense highlight formula. So I don't want to overdo it, especially since I already did with the liquid highlight. I think I'm going to start with this shade here, and since it looks like it's probably going to be a bit dark for like an actual highlight, I might just use this as a bit of like a glowy blush topper. Oh, she's glowy. We'll just add some all over the face. All right, so my eyes are primed, and I think I'm wanting to do a little bit of a halo eye. I think for the inner part, I'm probably gonna focus on the yellow, and then I'll do the more like kind of creamsicle shade here on the outer part. And then I'll probably just use a combination of some of the darker shades just to deepen everything up. And then I'm not sure about the spotlight yet. I might use like one of the shimmers here and then top it with that Super Shock, or I might use just the Super Shock. We'll see. So I'm just starting with the shade Top Pick, and it's that bright yellow. And like I said, I'm just gonna focus that on kind of the inner part. And I'm not gonna be too shy about bringing it up over the crease because I do want this part to kind of show when my eyes are open. Now I'm just taking that orangey shade, which is the shade Pinwheel, and I'm putting that on the outer part. This shade seems a lot softer, so I'm just gonna build it up a little bit. And I'm gonna bring some of that down to the lower lash line as well. But again, kind of just keeping it on the outer part of the lower lash line. So this shade here kind of looks like a really deep, almost khaki green. So I'll probably just focus on this darker brown to deepen up the inner and outer corner. And the shade is called Like Butter. And I don't think I'm gonna do a lash today just because I don't have that much time. And I feel like just being maybe a little bit more low-key. So I'm not gonna bring it too high. I'm really just trying to bring a little bit more depth into this area. And I'm gonna bring that down to the lower lash line as well. I don't think I'm gonna add it to the inner part of the lower lash line because I do want it to be kind of a brighter look and not too dramatic. So I'm gonna leave that part open for now. I'm gonna go back in to the shade Pinwheel and just blend this out a little bit. And then same thing with this yellow shade. My eyes are starting to feel a little bit watery, so, you know, fingers crossed, we hold it in. This brush feels wet now, so that's not good. And I'm just re-intensifying the darker brown a little bit because I feel like it was looking just a little patchy in some areas. And I'm gonna take the brush that I used the bright yellow with. I'm not gonna add any extra product, but I'm gonna kind of just drag this over the middle because I do kind of want a hint of that yellow in the center as well. I think I'm happy with this. I just wanted something kind of bright and fun, but not super dramatic or overpowering. So I think what I'm gonna do is go in with the Super Shock in the center of the lid. And then I have a feeling I'll need something just a little deeper to kind of mesh it into the dark brown. So I might end up going in with one of these two shades just to kind of blend that together. But we'll start with the Super Shock. And this is in the shade Beloved. And I'm definitely gonna have to kind of blend that with another shade for sure. All right, so this shade looks like more of a matte with sequins in it, so I don't really want to blend that one into the shimmer. Although I feel like it would work. This one also just has like a little too much pink in it, I think. So I think to blend the center shade with the darker mattes, I'm actually going to use this other Super Shock shadow from the collection, and it's called Entranced. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that on the edges. Yeah, I think that was a good call. All right, I think that's pretty. I'm just gonna do a little bit of that lighter Super Shock in the shade Beloved on the lower lash line here. And I don't need a lot. I don't need this to be like a super stark look because again, I'm not gonna do lashes or anything, so I don't want it to be overly dramatic. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of this bright yellow on a small pencil brush and add that to the inner part of the lower lash line. And then I'm just gonna add some of that lighter Super Shock in the inner corner as well. All right, so I think that's gonna be pretty much the eye look. I really like how it's looking so far. I'm just gonna finish it up with some mascara and probably something in my waterline, and then I'll come back to finish up with a lip combo. Alrighty, so here is the finished eye look. To finish it off, I just went in with these two eye pencils in the waterline. These are both actually from the same like Daisy collection from Colourpop. This dark brown one is called Sunnyvale, and I use that in the outer and inner part of the waterline. And then this pale yellow color is called Extra Frosting, and I just use that in the center. And then for my lashes, I feel like I'm having a good lash day, but I went in with the Benefit Fan Fast mascara, and I've been loving this. I've been using it for the last couple weeks now, and it really gives me the length for the lashes. I'm definitely gonna repurchase this whenever I run out. But I did kind of mix it with this Marc Jacobs one too. But let me just give you a little close up. So here is the eye look. I think it turned out really pretty. And since I'm late, let's just finish up quickly with a lip combo. So I'm just gonna wipe some of this balm off. And I kind of just wanted something a little bit more warm just to go with the whole look. So I'm gonna go in with this lip liner from Urban Decay in the shade Insanity. And then I'm just going to use this kind of yellowy lip oil from Clarins. I definitely still have some of this lip balm on, but that's okay. I'm just going to try and finish up. The lip balm definitely interfered with the lip liner application, but that's okay. Let's just do the oil. I do feel like a mid-tone or even like a slightly deeper brown lip would have been really pretty with this look. But again, I am a little bit late. I don't have a lot of time to play around, so I didn't want to risk not liking it. So I just want to go with something a little bit more low maintenance and kind of easy to reapply. So this is going to be the finished look. So yeah, let me know what you think of the final look. I feel really cute and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Thank you again for spending your time with me today and for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!